We live.
Yeah. Hey, we live. Hey. Welcome to another episode of Easy Sports. And today I'm joined by Onke. Yeah, how's it, King?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, man. Yo, can't complain. I won't lie. I'm still happy, ecstatic for the achievement of the ladies, is all, And of course, you being the one who was keeping us up to date because me now on my side, hey, anxiety, but I just couldn't watch, dog. Like,
So, so remember, I said to you,
yeah,
after Italy scored the first goal, I like
yeah,
changed the channel there,
yeah,
and then I started watching again, like 29th minute,
yeah,
and we looked a little bit
hmm,
more comfortable in the game. Look,
yeah,
I first of all, congratulations to Banyana Banyana. The ladies
100%,
made us extremely proud.
yeah,
Um, and
yeah,
we there were moments where all hope was gone. Then
yeah,
they'd fight back, and
mm,
you I think yesterday was more about their character, you know,
yeah,
their
100%,
character,
yeah.
more than anything. It was the character of those ladies that
Mm.
stood out for me, to say, like, I had tears, dog, after the second goal. I was like,
Yeah,
wow, I can't believe this is my country,
yeah,
and they're doing this to a top 20 team,
mm,
in the world, and Italy has their own football heritage, that
yeah,
is world renowned. And the fact that we are showing no fear, and we are going for it like this is so great for me. And remember, I was saying, hey, Italy has just missed a chance to score, and then I'd
yeah.
say Banyana just missed a chance to score.
Hey,
Second half was very entertaining, but I think that was one of the most stressful second halves I've ever watched in my life.
yes, yo. I can imagine, dog. Yeah, and
So I
I,
think I
yeah,
think yeah, I think where Dare's got it right is,
yeah,
in that game we were not trying to do anything Italy is doing, And
mm,
remember, our previous conversation, we said Katlani was playing too far from the other ladies. It felt as though,
yeah,
against Sweden especially, we were just playing too far. We couldn't get our football going. We
mm,
are a transition team. That's one thing that I've realized about this team. Even watching the Argentina game, I realized South Africa plays its best on that, when it's in transition, when they are forcing the other ladies to run, because when
mm,
you run, you make more mistakes. And
yeah,
once they get you to turn and face your own goal, I think that's when Banyana Banyana is the most dangerous, basically,
yeah,
because these ladies are not used to dealing with express pace like that, skill at that level as well. Kgatlana, Siopo Sengwe, and Mahaya have very good
yeah,
close control. They've got skill, their first touch, their first dribble. They normally beat whoever's in front of them. And I think that was too much for Italy to deal with.
yeah,
The midfield played a big role in trying to offer support to to um, to the defense. I think
yeah,
late in the second half, Noko was showing a lot of leadership in defense, which
yeah,
was needed. I think the first goal was a penalty. Fine,
yeah. I
that's early
saw,
in
I
the
saw
game.
that one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was early in the game. We came back into the game, equalized thanks to an own goal, but own goal
ish,
was created by pressure, and then
yeah,
we scored a second goal.
ish. Oh,
And
hell,
I think,
Mahai,
hey,
ish,
brah. And then
dude.
I think after we scored the second goal,
Hmm.
I think psychologically the coach, the ladies, they just didn't want to repeat what happened with against Argentina. That game was
Yeah,
still in their heads. And that corner came in,
mm,
they played the ball in. Ish. It was a free kick, actually. Ball was
yeah,
played
yeah,
in,
yeah.
hit the thigh of that chick. Ish. 2
Ish,
2.
dude.
We can talk
Yo.
about the goalkeeper, where Swart was standing, where she was supposed to be, all of that. I
Mm,
just think in those situations, you know, um, you have to clear that ball. You need to clear it. Those
mhm.
types of free kicks where basically everyone is inside the 16-yard box. The goalkeeper is not very responsible in that environment. If the ball
Yeah.
doesn't come straight to them, it's going to be a goal, basically. And
Yeah.
she was in a position that she wasn't going to do anything about it. And then 2-2. Now the stress began.
Yeah.
And I think at 2-2, that's when the game opened up completely. Italy was playing the ball first time, basically playing transition just like we were, not building up like they were throughout the game. They were just throwing balls into the box, trying to generate shots. Swart came up with some great saves late as well, to
Yeah.
keep
Hey,
us in the
dude.
game. Hey, hey,
Yes.
hey.
Hey,
She
it's
made
this.
this. She made this one save. I was so sure that was going in.
Yes.
Basically, our defense broke down. She was one
Yeah.
on one with this chick. One on one, 16-yard box, point blank, point blank range, bruh. Chick
Hey.
hits. She makes a save. I was like on my knees. Like, what? We are not
Dude.
winning this game, yeah?
Yeah,
88
dude.
minutes. At
Mm.
88 minutes, I texted in the group that,
Yeah.
guys,
Eish.
this game is ending. We're going to need a miracle.
Yeah, yeah.
110 over. That goal plays back in my head so many times because of how they always talk about the principles of counter pressing,
Yeah.
like being ready for the first action after you counter press and win the ball back. I
Yeah.
love the fact that the first thought from Mahaya was pass the ball wide to
Mm.
Sioposemo. She pushed, she beat the first lady, and then she didn't try to go to the line. I'm like, this is mature football. Something you wish
Yeah.
you could teach these men as well. You don't need to
Yeah.
chase the line. Cut the ball back in. Italy's
Yeah.
defense committed two people, Mahaya, just key between
Yes.
the two of
Gee.
them. My man. As soon as I saw that it was a 2-on-1, I was like,
Yeah.
don't shoot. Don't shoot. Pass
Yeah.
it. She did
And you,
exactly the right thing in that position.
mm.
She passed it. It made it so simple for 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 the captain,
Oh, Khatlan. Yeah,
for
Khatlan.
Katan.
Yeah.
Katan did the job. I was like,
Hey.
yes, yes. Honestly, that game played out very poetically for me. It played out
Yeah.
so poetically for me. We were underdogs.
Mm.
Uh, we were down. We were almost out. Time was not on our side. We came up with a miracle, and then we held on to it. We held on
Yeah.
to it. Late penalty shout.
Yeah. Hey,
you
dog.
know,
And that one, if it's not be that one, dog, when I was watching the extended highlights, I saw them. Aren't you did mention.
yeah,
Cheese. Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
late
yeah.
penalty
Choma
shout.
Chita.
I was dying.
Oh, wait.
Shafted cheese.
Hola, hola. Give him a chance.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
sure.
not that. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
So I think,
continue.
yeah. So I think, yeah. That was the proudest South African football moment. Above Chabalala's goal in
Yeah.
2010 World Cup. I think a lot
Where
of
is
things are
this? Is
going
this
to
above? Is this above the AFCON?
this one.
96. How old were you in 90 in 95,
Yeah,
dog?
No,
Or
but
'96?
it has a. Yeah, I was
Ah,
saying Dwana,
Sika,
but I
man.
mean,
Yeah, it was still
Nkuluma,
kicking.
I mean, the ladies recently. Okay, if the ladies
Mm.
go out now, will last 16? Will it be a better achievement than winning AFCON?
yes,
Yeah, it's also because of the opposition is cheese,
yes,
man. I think the opposition that we are up against, we're playing against people who are quote unquote better than us, dog. Like even the Italian manager, Caruso, she even made a comment, Ngoguti, she can't believe that we don't really have a proper professional league for the ladies because she was just shocked at how good they were. Ngoguti, in Italy, now we've got girls playing in Champions Leagues. While Tina, on our end,
we have no
we don't
right.
have that there. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what she
we
was
have
pretty
no
much
right.
implying. Yeah. Yeah.
Afcon,
I
Afcon,
did.
Afcon, see, Afcon cheese. I think
Yeah.
as great an achievement as Afcon was, as far as Afcon is concerned, we are one of the giants in the female
Mm-hmm.
game. as far as AFCON is concerned. It was a matter of time. Abo Portia were falling short.
No.
Nigeria
Yeah.
kept knocking them out and stuff like that. But it was a matter of time as far as AFCON. We have no right. This tournament, we have never been this far, first of all. You understand?
Yo.
And this also marks a period where 3 African teams out of 4 are in the knockout stages. The same knockout
Dude.
stages Brazil didn't make it to. The same knockout stages Germany didn't make it to. Teams that
Yeah.
are considered to be heavyweights in this, at this stage. It's the world stage. It's much bigger than AFCON. So I think as an achievement, it's bigger. AFCON was great because they finally brought back silverware. It was finally happening. This is a
Yeah.
first step on the moon, kahle kahle. These are the first walks on the moon. We've never been. This is uncharted territory completely for them. So I think it's bigger because it's them announcing themselves as one of those,
Yeah.
and it's going to change a lot of these ladies' futures. AFCON did. Abo Refilwe, Abo Khatlara, they got offers from Abo AC Milan, thanks to AFCON.
Yeah.
This is going to take them to other levels because look at the Premier League. The Premier League has a women's soccer league attached to it that is developing Abo Lauren James, to the
Yeah.
players that they are today.
Yeah.
So these players, Abo Sioposengwe dog, Abo Makhaya, they are getting the opportunity to be seen by eyes that wouldn't see them under normal circumstances. So I think
Under Safa
as a stage,
circumstances.
yeah,
Under Safa circumstances.
yeah,
Yeah,
under
more than
certain
Safa.
circumstances.
Yeah.
Hey, Safa.
Ay, Safa, phethu, Safa nje. I know it. Wanna Cheese, how do you feel, man? Like, do you think this is bigger? Because
Yeah, look, man,
yeah,
I think reasonably to say, I fully agree with you, Chance. The stage is definitely bigger. As
yeah,
a country, we've never ever been this far in
yo,
any footballing World Cup competition.
ever, dog.
At the national stage for the first team.
Yeah,
So it's a big achievement for the ladies, and for me again, njalo makhuluma nge-disc, it's always about what the front people are doing, how are they converting chances. But Umbane goes unmentioned a lot in a lot of conversations. Mfana, and Umbane, as a centre back myself, I look at her and she's so good, Mfana, in leading the game, in commanding her areas, in doing the basic things. I mean, when you're a short centre back, there's a lot of the small things that you do very well. Read the game, getting there before opponents, I mean, interceptions and so forth.
yeah,
And for me, she does it so well for the ladies. It's been a while since we've had a centre back. Also was good to see Scotland ngalo mama lo weapon, who's left us now after many years of great service. But I mean, it's important. But when last did we think about Simkumbul? It's been a while since
it's been a while. Yeah,
because
that's true.
now defensively we actually have people who are capable, and as a team and as a unit, even when we drop deep, and I know it's always a problem with we're not the tallest team, maybe not the most physical, but as a unit, in front of they huddle together, they fight for each other, and that's the most important thing that we can't take away from them.
I don't know, indeed. I fully agree with you on that. Okay, not you wanted to say something.
No, I wanted to say I agree with that. Umbani no Matro have a great combination. I love the combination here in terms of ability and leadership. I think Noko is a great voice for her experience and the selflessness, of giving up. I saw this AFCON and I was so amazed. This lady was one of the leading goal scorers, in Africa at some point, and she gave that up to go play at the back. That's a massive transition for any player. And technically to adjust, if ungatshela ukuthi ihlema ngishaya by striker, ngashaya amanye izinye izinto eziyaphezulu
bayazi Jimmy nonke bathi hey ungamuzi phambili please ngiyekene dlala lapha. Ayinto baba.
Sergio Ramos, boy.
So I
Shame.
respect, I
Yeah,
respect that, that change, for her, and she's taken on leadership. After they scored the second goal, she was the one basically invigorating the team, pushing them, and that game was won purely on heart. South Africa
Yeah.
showed heart, Lapayana, a lot of character. You know, Technically, phela that goal is amazing. Technically, Moskuma technically, that's an
yeah.
amazing goal. But if you look at the amount of effort, Mahaya's run, how far she came
Uish.
to get to that ball, the distance she had to cover for that. And the fact that she was on her last legs, she was about utapume because she was
Yeah,
complaining about cramps. The fact that she had the heart to still run like that, to get to the ball, that was we call it a 50-50, but it's a 33% if there's two other players that are also fighting for the same ball, and she got there first, and she was still at the presence of mind to not let adrenaline rush to her head and take a shot like male players would do. She was like,
yeah.
I see a player that looks like me. Nimnikeze
Yeah,
ball, make it
and
as
then
simple as
easy
possible.
tapping.
Easy
Exactly.
tapping.
Yeah, even it's like even now, like the second goal as well, even with Tutem, because for me, I was complaining mostly about Tembi being very greedy when she's in the final third. But her playing it through to Hilda, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, finally, you see, if you pass the ball,
But
this is
that
the
pass.
outcome. Hey, I know. Hey, that was a hit, dude.
But
I'm shy.
but again, and this
Yeah.
is Kuluma as like after the
Mm,
first and second games, it's no time investment. These people buy about manje ufuna ukuya phambili. It's past.
yeah.
Late. I just want to get into a good position, pass it through,
Yeah.
and it finally paid off.
Yeah.
But as a team, the ladies are really really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a 9 to 5 lah, but
It's true.
to be able to play a tournament like this every 3 days una 9 to 5. Mina ngiyazi-ke, that's one thing onke complain. I don't think now if we are spanner and then you have to play a game kanje,
Mm,
it will be hectic.
Can't. Can't.
yeah.
So kudos to them. They
Yeah.
did really great to and it's about continuing it.
Yeah.
How do you take the lessons from that game into the knockout stages now? How do you take the
Yes.
lessons against the Sweden game? The Sweden game
That
for
was
me, I think the biggest lesson that they needed to take from and
yeah.
learn in terms of going forward, because there they just saw which teams will want to play for the to their weaknesses, and how do
Mhm.
they combat that? And that's going to be very important, and very important as well for Desiree as well.
Yeah, indeed. Because that was my next question. I was gonna be like, where do you think we need to improve? I mean, we're going against our former colonizer, the Netherlands. What's ironic is that Nigeria and England
Yeah.
and Morocco, aren't they playing France? You see what I'm saying? Battle of the we're playing against our colonizers, guys. But anyway, yeah, you can go with that, Onkeda.
It's not
Um,
that kind of show.
I
X.
know
that,
it's not. I
that
know, I know it's
matchup.
not. I know it's not. I just saw it on Twitter. Fish, whatever tweets I'm up into. Yeah,
No, it's fair, yeah.
yeah.
That matchup is dangerous.
Mhm.
It has the potential to be, a humbling one. Potential.
Ish,
There's
man.
the potential to be a humbling one. But I'll say this: having seen them play against Sweden,
Yeah,
because Sweden is the best comp for Netherlands as far as style, as far as
yeah,
length. It's the best comp. I think we can still put our best foot forward in that game if we avoid the mistakes we made in the Sweden game. As Sikha alluded to, Uti, we can fix those mistakes. And I think in the Argentina game, the mistake, positional compactness, Yapambi, was sorted out where Katana was playing too far from the rest of the attacking line.
Yeah. Especially in the
yeah,
Sweden game as well.
yeah.
Yeah, in the Sweden game, she was isolated. In the Argentina game, they were playing much closer to each other. And in this game in Italy as well, they were playing closer to each other. And I think when they do that, that's when they are most dangerous because they can share the ball, they can increase it threat yabo, individually and collectively. Because if you're saying usha umuntu oyi-one, you know,
Yeah.
a pass afterwards, basically already seka offset a defense early your team. So unikeza that the person who's getting the ball an advantage against their matchup. Now, if that one shares the ball again, ganjalo ganjalo, it helps. As opposed to Khatlana trying to run
Yeah.
continuously until a palin. That doesn't serve us very well. I think against Sweden we try to do that. If we can avoid that against the Netherlands, I think we can make it a game. I think it can be much more respectable. And I think we can even, get a result. And this Italy game gassed me up a lot, man. I saw a lot
Yeah.
of good things, along with our bad things. I just think when Ulento, the goalkeeper needs to come back.
Yeah.
Swart did great, made some great saves, but Swart athletically she's not good. Um, and positioning Agang Tembisi anything. I don't like how she places herself for balls, especially set plays and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Fundamental stuff akekho grand kuzo. So angikho comfortable ngaye laphayana. Whatever work those ladies Umbane no Matlo do at the back, if they if they give a chance, you feel like the other team is gonna score. That's never a great feeling when you have a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So
indeed,
that's my
indeed.
biggest challenge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Um,
cheese.
so for me, it's gonna be legs for now. Okay, like I just said, it's gonna be the legs. I think they are going to struggle to maintain intensity in Banyana Banyana, specifically because for them this isn't something that they do day in day out. Um, they are people who work in 9 to 5. They have real careers that they're doing outside of football. So um, it's going to be a lot for them. It's definitely going to take quite a bit of time. So
Hey.
I think we just need to find the right solution in terms of managing the legs of the team, especially the important guys, Obosenye, Ochani, um, um, Abumbane. So we need to find the right balance. It's going to be important.
Yeah, no, indeed,
Is Johnny
indeed,
injured?
indeed. Yeah, she's injured. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
replaced by Robin Moodley. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
Moody is
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yeah,
Rob,
she even hit the
Robin
yeah,
is
post.
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
She's
She's
very
good.
good.
She's
yeah,
good. I also feel like
mm.
she's someone who should be starting in any case for them,
Yeah. She should be,
Yeah,
dude.
alongside Richard.
I was
Yeah,
shocked Uguti she was playing from the bench and she didn't play the whole game. Upume early as well. It could be a
yeah,
fitness thing. It could be maintaining her legs and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I liked what I saw from her. She's very, very good. And she's got a bit of speed as well. She was running at these Italian girls as well. So she's
yeah,
got a lot of positive, attributes in I. I think
Yeah, she's
because
very
she hasn't been
athletic. Yeah,
overused, because she hasn't been
yeah.
overused, she can be someone who's very crucial in the next game, especially.
Yeah, no, indeed, indeed. Especially from an offensive standpoint, because I think she's more offensive minded,
She
in her
is.
approach.
She
Yeah, yeah.
is.
And so it's just that for me, this thing of parking the bus, but I'm like you, cheese. Mourinho's tactic, it's not like easy on the eye for me personally. And I do think we should just go for it at times. And I think against Italy, we actually were forced to go for it this time around. Then Gutman just see Pagi pass, he set up shop. And yeah, man, having a player like her, Robin, who's more of a tenacious player and who wants to always go forward, it does help. It really does help and makes us more deadly. And as well, we're a team that has goals in them. That's the beauty of Ibanyana. We're a team that has goals in us. And um, it's just high time that we also just go for it at times. And then man, we must respect our opponents. I'm not about that, man. I really am not. Yeah.
We started doing that against Italy. We started
Yeah,
very
but
flat, trying to see
yeah.
what they are coming up with, and
Mm,
we considered the penalty, and it just felt as though it was a hit, a penalty. We couldn't get out of the first phase. Our passes were not connecting. It was very frustrating to watch. It took us about 30 minutes to start putting patterns of play together. And I think when you set up that way, you need a team of high quality. I say this about Real Madrid a lot.
Yeah.
Ancelotti, Zidane, Jose, the success they found with that team was not because, not just because they were great tactical minds, but because they had the right profile of players to insert their style, gahle,
Yeah.
where Casemiro doesn't need to be a controller in midfield.
Yeah.
He can play passively and just win balls, pela. Hand the ball to cross starts the transitions, because Ronaldo plays great when he's in transition. If a team parks the bus against a Cristiano team, it's difficult for him to break through because he needs to head balls or get opportunities in a box full of people. Whereas if it's in
Yeah.
transition, the box remains skinny because there's 2, 3 defenders in there. He's got more space to move. He's got more pockets to move and attack the ball. So I think that team was built for that football,
Yeah.
built for transition, quick, pacey, hit you now.
Yeah.
I'm a nerves. I saw that first, like, if you're never in a situation, and you're trying to win the game, you have to win this game. And
Yeah.
you go in there already in the back of your mind, we have to win this game. No matter what's going
Yeah.
on. The game, the minute. You get on the
Yeah.
pitch and you start feeling nervous. You start get onto the pitch, you start
Yeah.
making mistakes. Soft passes or shaka kulu, passes or shaka nani. So it's in between. But you're indecisive because in the back of your mind you have this thing that you're carrying. Um, we need to win this game, and your legs just don't cooperate. A lot of the
Yeah.
things that you're making on the pitch, I'm a decision oyenzayo, many turn left, turn right instead, many tap ball, tap gabi. Like all of those basic things, you start to feel them, and it takes a
Yeah.
while for you to settle down. Once you make your first pass, once you most passing up with confidence, like came in, then we all start playing confidence, and we push off each other because now pass now what's good ball because my weight on the pass is better. My message is more positive. Mangiti 10 out of 10. Mangiti left,
Yeah.
left, Mangiti 1-1. We start building that confidence in the game, and that's when we started to see it after the 30 minutes and so going forward. Okay, abantu seba more confidence sicala ukudlala ibhola
Yeah.
sesibhetha seyabasifile ukuthi nalabantu labakhona manje
Yeah.
and that's always a tough thing in football is when you've never been in that situation, which is why I think Onke brought up Real Madrid. Those guys are used to that situation. Cruz can
Yeah.
wake up today, ngombuza kusasa uCruz umfaka Champions League final, and you'd still
Yeah.
throw
Exactly.
8 out of
He's
10.
gonna drop a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yabo.
Yeah.
Modric, you
Yeah.
call all those guys. Man. They'll drop you great performance. Thibaut in a game. You
Yeah.
call him in the team. Vimela Yonki.
Hence,
Yeah.
I was talking about the pedigree, and I think with Banyana, hence I'm gonna be proud, even if they lose to Netherlands, because it's going to be a pedigree question for them. Uguti,
Yeah.
they don't have the pedigree as far as competing at that level. Labe Corner, they feel as though it's a miracle to begin with. It's already a blessing to be where they are. So the nerves that are going to come with that game are going to be much more than the one Italy. Now, the other example I wanted to give, and you'll
Yeah.
relate to this, Cheese, because this is going to hit home. Remember how bad your team was in the Champions League final? For the first
In fact,
50 minutes.
not even the Champions League. Not even the Champions League. Like must not challenging. Almost semi-final. Did almost semi-final? Look at Pumago, I'm quarter final.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Even
talking
in the
about
final, I agree.
this last one. This
Yeah.
final.
Yeah, we were bad. We were bad.
They were so
Know
bad.
them.
Yeah.
They were so
That's
bad.
true.
They literally scored it when they started to connect like 7 passes for the first time. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there's cohesion, manje. Ha 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 ha. In the box.
And,
Cross
and a luck
ball
compared.
deflects,
And then what if
Rodri hits.
I mean the luck only okay luck deflection la
Yeah.
pampa
It was a
road
deflection,
pass net.
Vele.
Yeah.
and it fell to the perfect person. If
The
that
right
ball fell to
person.
anyone else, ne? If it fell to anyone
Gundo
else,
one.
hold on.
Gundo one.
Besu
Gundo
Mes.
one. Gundo
Ndona
one is a great loose ball
Ukundo
finisher.
fulthole lapho la da. Ukundo fulthole lapho la da, ne? Onke. Ukundo Besu Mes. Lela ball has found the
Apple
most.
scream against the
Ngiyamthemba
United
ngeloose
States.
ball,
Ndona.
mfana.
You know, the reason why I say this, ne, is that Kulama Champions League final, semi-final, all of the guys who've lost in Champions League final. Kuno lost the one against Real Madrid, was it Bayern?
Yeah.
When they
Bayern,
lost
yes.
against Bayern.
Dortmund.
It's
Yeah.
always in his
It
mind.
was
I
Dortmund.
cared about it. Even as a Dortmund, yeah, it's always in his mind. Dendoleo. And I remember, I think we were playing against Spurs in the semi-final. Kuno was holding a chance, guilt edge, and he missed it. And then Kuno would never miss anything in Jalo, ever. Kuno isn't just Jalo. And then I said, the one person who doesn't know that, and the one person who has the right temperament. I mean, look at the goal that Rodri scored against Bayern. That goal and I'll cut onto his left. And Lena Paul also look Kevin when they hit it so hard because in the back of the mind is I have to score it. I know Rodri's like fully at the top of the net, it's impossible.
I want it there. Yeah, I want it there.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to have. Muchain, as much as the person who is expecting her to keep the ball moving around, she needs to be that calm head in the team. Let's see Paula.
Yeah.
If she wants to demand it, in pitch, demand that ball. If Vienna, she wants to take the team and grab by the scruff of the net, I say Pambi and force it to come defend again. She needs to do it, and that needs to be her role in the team. And we need to see her contributing more. I think in front of goal.
Yeah.
I'd like to say
100%.
the rest of the guys because she has the ability. I think she plays it very safe. Maybe it's a message from Desiree, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah. And then gents, I just wanted to share my screen just for us. I know we were talking about our ladies, but I mean, guys, like there's so many three heavy hitters that have, of course, exited the tournament. Yes. Who would have thought? I mean, Pop, I inkinga kanje Alexandra Pop, like it's crazy, this tournament. It reminds me of the 2022 World Cup Yama out because there were also a lot of upsets. And guys, German football, what's happening, guys? Because Namagents now, it's
Can I tell you?
I don't know what's
Can I
going
tell you
on.
what happened to German football?
Yeah. Go. Okay.
German football fell in love with Pep.
Yes.
That's essentially what happened to them. German football had an identity. 2010, they had an identity. They played a certain way. They believe in intensity.
14,
They believe in
18.
building with speed. Lentoye passing, tiki taka has never been German football.
Really, that's true.
Pep moves to Germany in 2012.
Yeah.
When Pep moves to Germany, he changes how Bayern plays.
Yeah.
Bayern is German football.
Yeah.
He gets Bayern to play in a way that Germans have never seen football played before.
Yeah.
It's very expansive. It's very creative. It's nothing they've ever known. You understand?
It's not rigid, and it's not rigid. Yeah.
Limnandi Polala Corner. The players also look very comfortable playing this style of football. But this is Pep's system.
Yeah.
Now, the German national team then goes to win the World Cup.
Yeah.
Most think it's because of Pep's philosophy that the German national team won the World Cup. But Joachim Low didn't use Pep's system when he played in the German national team. But because of they believed because the players had been developed technically through Pep, they were able to win. Okay, fine. They won the World Cup. After the World Cup, they were never able to re-establish their own German identity when it comes to football because everyone has been trying to be like Pep.
Yeah.
This is why yeah, this is why even to this day, a lot of Germans believe that they need Klopp to take the national team, because Klopp will bring back the primary German style, gegenpress, uh,
Gegenpress, yeah.
play very high intensity football, Thomas
Yeah,
Muller
but
football, basically.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but for me, like I'm saying, is Klopp has can't even goals. He can't do it at the national team level. The only way you can change at the national team is to change the strongest team in the league, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
you mold most of the players there in terms of influencing the style that you want to play. So again, Onge is very much right in terms of saying um, the philosophy of Pep. Team year Germany was never made up of full Bayern Munich players anymore recently, which is
Yeah.
even
Yes.
hard because what we're
Yes.
trying to play anymore is not something that everyone is training at the club. All of us are training how we wanted to play as a German when we were growing up smaller, playing more efficient football, technical, one and two touch, getting the ball out, being fast and more direct. So now it's changed completely, and it's very hard to replicate. But for the women's, I think first of
Yeah.
all, Brazil over dependency on quite a lot of the old players, and I think
Yo.
that will always be a problem. And again, has to go back to the problem of saying playing 3-4 games to guys who are no longer training and doing this consistently. It's always going to be a big problem, especially if the games go deeper into into later stages to find a winner. And then Brazil
Yeah.
have been scraping through most of those. Well, not even scraping through, but have been struggling to dominate games and enforce themselves. Pretty similar to Germany.
Yeah.
A lot of their key players and positions, they need to start rebuilding. And you can see
Yeah.
if it's a steady decline. Brazil is eighth in women's football
Yeah.
now, and that's already a worry for them.
That's that, dude. That's true. It's because when you look at even now Canada being ranked higher than Brazil, dog, like it's crazy. It's crazy. And you are right. I think, um, I just feel like the next generation, dog, isn't as dope as the previous one. And at the same time, teams are playing are catching up. You know, we even saw it in the men's World Cup. Countries are beginning to close the gap. You know, the gap between the top nations and the nations that aren't um, like favorites for international tournaments. It's closing slowly but surely. And I mean, look at the groups that the three African teams were in. I mean, Nigeria were in a tough group that had Ireland, it had Canada, it had I think Australia. You see what I'm saying? Then Tina Nati group B to Argentina, Italy, and Sweden. Bro, when the draw was done last year, I was panicking. I was like, yo, it's gates. Literally, I was like that. You know, I thought maybe we won't even stand a chance. It's going to be I'm a 6-0, I'm a 8-0. But look, we managed to qualify for the next round. And even look at Morocco today, in fact, like Morocco surprised us all because, I mean, Morocco got slapped by Germany first game. You know, maybe it's because of the lack of experience playing in the World Cup, and um, they managed to dig deep, beat South Korea, and then also beat Colombia, a team that beats Germany. So it just shows you that the gap as well is it's beginning to close. It's no longer as wide. And what's also crazy, Cheese, is that when you look at the African teams, bro, it's teams that aren't backed by their federations the way these three teams are. I mean, these three teams are backed heavily. They've got sponsors. They get paid grand. Bayathola ama-bonuses wabo kahle, and Tina, of course, it's part-time for our ladies, and yet we still are capable of reaching the latter stages of a tournament. And so for me, I just believe that should these federations here in our continent take football seriously, not just only women's but men's as well, then Mfana isn't doesn't change. Mfana, they can change, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the new CAF president, Mr.
Yeah,
Matsipe, I hope he's listening. It's a
yeah,
big point for him to start looking into, and I know he's a big supporter of ladies football. I mean, we all know how strong Sundowns ladies is, so
yeah,
um, it's important that they start investing in the sport, and especially if, like you mentioned, if we can get there with ladies who have 9 to 5 jobs,
yeah.
then imagine if we could start building a league and start grooming quite a lot of the ladies in the country to take up the baton.
Yeah, no, indeed, indeed. Mfethu mina nami I fully agree, dog. I do fully agree ngokuthi um we can't get there, just as long as nje we our teams get the backing. And I just wanted to also just ask when against the Netherlands, do you think we have a chance, an outside chance, maybe shy Eliwani nje siphume entweni.
It's knockout football, in fact. Knockout football, I
Yeah,
always say knockout football is a very different ball game. It's once
yeah,
off kanhla yakho,
yeah,
siyakora, two or something, we get very lucky and we get a result. Like it's always possible. So again, it's gonna be a very big test for them. Again,
yeah,
just in fact, the ladies just being at the World Cup, it's a big test for them. But this is also going to prove a tough task. But I think
yeah.
anything is possible in Fanabona about football. I always say that to you.
100%, 100%. I know anything is possible on Fana, but yeah, mina nami sathi nami I'm just hoping nje we just put our best foot forward and at least compete more than anything. Yeah, well, I have they've exceeded my expectations already, Banyana. So for me, it would be a bonus if we go through to the next round. But yeah, she's been on my end. I feel like we've discussed everything that I had planned. Do you perhaps want to add anything? I see your
Mfethu
team.
phela wakhohlwa mfethu. Ziyasuka phela
Yeah,
this weekend.
Zasuga to.
Ziyasuka phela this
Eish,
weekend.
dude. Yeah,
Wabona
you
sengilele.
are right, Mfethu. Yeah, eish,
Ziyasuka this
so.
weekend baba.
Eish, eish,
Angithi
eish,
vele
eish.
ukuthi kumele siyisuse nje. Ziyasuka ezamagebhuzi enyama ngenkani. Zagebhela
Yeah,
umhlaba phezu
Mfethu.
kofu. Hey, yadlala.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
indeed. Who do you support, man? Thingy,
Who's
okay.
to see?
Because
Obvious.
Alipheli
ah,
moya yalazi.
I'll pay more, because I'll pay
Yalazi.
more,
I-Springbok. I-Springbok.
Sele kancane. Sele kancane uphela.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uyabuswa imali.
Yeah, what's my man, man? Yes, but hey, I know just been like Namisathi Namano Kusasa is Cocoon and Mamelodi Sundowns. Of course, the Sundowns them being favorites all the damn time. But this season, cheese and tanga, we need to do something, dog. This season, these guys can't continue dominating like this.
Yeah, mina again wakhohlwa. For me,
Mhm.
the difference is that Sundowns
Mm.
plays at a certain intensity in every single game. Ayiko
Yeah.
easy game, ayiko difficult game. We play the same
Mhm.
intensity. No matter how sidlala kanjani, we don't change the way we play.
Yeah.
Pirates Chiefs baba. Dlala nobani bani sekudlalwa kanje, sekufakwe bani kumele ayenze
Yeah.
kanje, sekudlala uhoto kule game lena ngoba
Hey.
kwenzakalani kumele yabo. So Sundowns is very direct in what they do. Um,
Yeah.
we know the style of play. No matter what ungenayo, they're not going to change how we play it. It's the role that leads the team
Mm.
into those specific positions. Nangomailulu hambile, this goes to
Yeah.
show how far they are going as a club. I mean, thina siyakhuluma kunesikhuluma ngale ntwana le Chiefs Ngobo. Unqobo yikho into azokuyenzela yona Unqobo. Abo khona le ka left, lendlela ka left le yandlisa azange iphinde idlale.
Yiphi mfethu?
Chiefs onke.
Usiho.
Beyihluthu man.
Oh,
Beyidlala nga left.
no.
Ubani?
Umashiane.
Mashiyane. Wandlisa Mashiyane
Eish.
zange baphinde bamfaka. Um,
Yeah.
Abo Bongezana, like
Yeah.
Ungezana Uvaile, got a nice contract. I think his age is really good and his build is really good. So for
Yes.
Europe, he's always trying to find that thing. But technically, for me, he's not one of the greatest. But there's a story for another day. But in the PSL era, what Sundowns are doing, Fana, is what Barcelona did back in those ages, where we
Yeah.
have our style of play, we have our identity, and we know what we're going to
Yeah.
do on the pitch. Um,
I don't
but
mind
yeah,
Sundowns. I think Sundowns is redefining South African football, style set.
Yeah.
Um, and they are defining it in the sense of you don't have to be uber talented to play the way Sundowns plays. It's basic nuances and principles of football being followed on the pitch. You can take
Yeah.
a team of teenagers and teach them the way Sundowns plays, and they'll be able to execute. If I have to teach someone how Pirates plays, for example, Pirates plays a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Their game is very profile driven. You have to be of a certain quality and skill to be able to play the way Pirates plays. It
mm.
plays with high intensity when it wants, high skill as well, very flashy at times. Sunhouse doesn't play that way. It's teachable indlela abadlala ngayo. Chiefs angadlala kanjani. I don't know if anyone knows how
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
The
I
reason
Anibulelo
Barca
uzwane, yo.
Yeah.
the reason Barca worked is because not only were those players being taught how to play football, it was already Barca style, but then they used their technical qualities to enhance the style to become what it was. Abo Busquets, Abo Xavi, Messi.
Yeah.
So you look at the profile of those players, that style of football is supposed to work to that level. But if you
Yeah.
take any group of players and you teach them these very basic principles of playing, total football, you play 1-2 touch, you don't play the ball
Movement
out,
spaces, yeah,
you
yeah.
always
Movement
Yeah.
create
spaces,
spaces,
it's not
you
triangles.
pass
Those triangles,
you
I
pass
always
to
say,
move your
Magaltis,
opponents.
this thing
Yes,
is
always
important.
keep diagonal
Yeah.
connections to each other. You never stop moving. You're always moving around. You're always looking for space. You can teach that. That's how Sundowns plays. It's teachable. So I love it because it's going to change how we view our own football. My only concern is that it's at the expense of the glory of our own teams. Well, let me speak for my own because at least the
Yeah.
parents in October, say we cup team in
Yeah.
October at least.
Ah, yes, reacting to topa topa is reacting as super
No, no, no. For
Spambeli
the
one,
longest time,
Inyana.
for the longest time, Pirates fans told us Uguti all Kaizer Chiefs was a cup team.
Mm.
Because at the time, just winning cups was not good enough. So now that they are winning cups, since Konabandaba Petty League,
Ah, yeah. Who
sekuyinto
said
normal,
that, though?
but it's fine.
Ubani
Aye,
Shonjalo.
I've lived around Pirates
Cheese.
fans. Nyanazi,
Does
Nazga.
Cheese Shonjalo now? I don't think Cheese says that. It's
Mina,
God.
like
Yeah.
I always, like I'm telling you, Shopits, Mina League is very
Yeah.
important, fun. League,
Winning
league
is
tells you where
extremely
you
important.
are.
Yeah.
League tells you where you are as a team, done.
Yeah.
That's why good net ranking. And that's why good knockout kuba nento engathi ihlahla until inohlangana lapha nihlangana khona.
Yeah.
Because it's in a match onke akalalanga grand izolo udle butter chicken. Ufika in the game, he's the team's most important player. Amakalalanga is heavy. Ha, mangithi
Yeah.
onke uslow 10 njalo ngiyampress ngithola ibhola. We win that game.
Yeah.
We win.
Yeah. Yeah.
City were not the best. City or Chelsea were not the best team in the Champions League final, leading up to the Champions League final, where they beat Man City. But they beat Man City because
Yeah.
they did everything they needed to do on the pitch right, and Man City didn't do it. So
Inter
any
could have
game,
beat Man City.
you have to, yeah, easily. Could have a chance there, Namela Core, La Lautaro, but he
Or
didn't.
Lukaku.
But
Even Lukaku, they
but
hate him.
but
Wakleru Timako.
but Pirates, Chiefs, the inconsistency in what they do in the league just shows how far they are off as a club. When we Sundowns to me next week and Skukunu 3-1. Next week udlala 1-1 neGolden Arrows. Next week udlala 1-0 neMorocco Swallows.
Oh yeah.
Kukore hot. Kukore Paco. Kukore ubani. Bekuyi penalty. Let us build in terms of how we want to score goals. Yes, if we want our front four guys to score goals and contribute goals as a team, good. Then let's have them getting 10 goals and so forth.
Yeah.
This is why I like coaches that have repeatable systems where they don't flounder. I understand. I love Abo Tuchel, Abo Pep, Abo Guardiola.
Yeah.
They don't run away from how they want to play football. And in order to win the league, you also need a coach who never flounders from system, who doesn't lose belief in how he wants to play, and who continues to enforce that style continuously. Secondly, you need players that recognize that every moment you play is every game you play is as important as every other. The problem with teams that don't win league titles is they rank games. So they turn up for Sonto Derby, Sundowns versus Pirates. I'm putting my best foot forward. When you say Golden Arrows is in town,
before Zul. This is why iKaizer Chiefs izofaka ukhuni makudlala neSundowns. Kuzokhulunywa ngokhuni, makudlala against iPirates. Why? So sorry, Uncle, that's your point.
Because of the leverage of that game. In a game like this, you know this. You've heard PSL pundits say this many times. In a game like this, you need all the experience. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we rank those games, and this is why teams like that become great cup teams, because cup teams know siyapuma if us winning. So then the occasion is bigger. Occasion 3 points. I find the occasion we are poor game if we are losing.
Yeah.
So the players don't apply themselves the same way, and that continues. Even Chelsea has the same problem. We had players who would apply themselves differently in the Champions League than they would in the league. Kai Havertz is a star in the Champions League, must knock Abantu out. When we come back, he goes missing, he ghosts in games. That is a problem that teams that are not challenging for the league have for the most part, is players rank when they want to give their best effort. That's the issue. Your Kaizer Chiefs. Pirates.
Yep. So for me, and I always said, the Pirates always have players who want to turn up Kuma knockout, which is the difference now as to why we're winning cups. The players who knockout in headline or promise some bonus for next progression into the next stage, then league
Player of the
performance.
tournament.
It's embarrassing.
Player of the tournament.
So again, it's how do we fix that? And the difference between Sundowns and Chiefs and Pirates is that there's a plan in place. We're doing it from the youth going up. Philosophy is like this. Style of play, our right backs for six so even the guys who are coming through. I mean, Mailulu came in, who fit and team. Fast.
Because it's
came
teachable.
Hey,
you don't need a superstar to learn that way of
playing. When coach talks, in la coach Zwan la coach Banbani division and message is different. Abana my coaching license full abaningi, so isn't this ning just the guy with my trap, which is crazy. The Pirates, there's always players who are individually great, but the team of Pirates is always terrible. The team of Pirates, it's a collective. They're a terrible team because there's a player who they're trying to groom to push into the first team, and Lababanye loan out to cheaper to in so if they're doing really well. But Ratom was really good. Ratom was really good, Ratom, but he's never gonna get Leo chance because Paris at the point where Medeslala or Lodge, Medeslala 1 man because of the high wages and
Yeah.
fans are coming to the stadium to see them. But if Pirates and so forth listens to what their fans really want, that boy Ratom was going to be something else this season.
Yeah.
The problem as well is Pirates and Chiefs have a lot of players that are, I call them Mama Flavor of the month. You know, Mango had a period where he was Flavor of the month. Then
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Then it was Lord. You know, then it
Yeah.
was. It changes. It was Vincent at some
Yeah,
point.
Ule, yeah,
You
Qinisile.
never get consistency.
Now it's Saleh.
Yeah.
Usaleng is actually probably the most consistent player Pirates have had in years since maybe Benny
Yeah.
was there. He's the most consistent. Mangithi consistent. He's a player
Yeah.
that you know even if he doesn't score assist, his effort, his level of
Yeah.
play, his
Yeah.
application is going to
Quality.
be the same.
Yeah, it's really good.
He's very like he doesn't seem South African, that boy. He's very disciplined in terms of the way he approaches every game of football. So he's very commendable. But for the most part, Pirates badlalela ama-lento ama-flate. Bengihlanga ngimtshela usihle ukuthi noma uye Orlando sibali. Those players
Yeah.
badlalela ama-flate. Ithi uziflate guy one Orlando i-move yastopa. They stop,
Yeah.
they want to dribble, they want to do something, they want to dazzle the crowd. They think they're playing exhibition, Lapayan. That's why ngikubona iPirates shaya well under ulento uPep Guardiola wabo. At least uJose Mourinho, uJose Guardiola wabo. At least manje ba high
Jose
score.
Rivero.
Yeah, Riviera.
At least ba high score. Pirates didn't used to do that. Pirates were 1 goal, 2 goals.
Yeah.
Exhibition
2-1.
football.
1-0.
Exhibition football.
1-1.
Corner flag.
Cabanga,
Yeah,
oh, qale ngendlela naye. Qale ngendlela naye lapha eligini yami Sunday.
Unjani?
Ngidlala naye.
ngike ngakutshela esihle ngike ngakutshela ukuthi when I was still working eSoweto ngayibona i-payslip yandoda ne-statement sakhe se-Standard Bank ukuthi that dude bekane overdraft eku-minus 100,000.
Yes.
Mangimbuza ukuthi Thabo Blomava uThabo uthi uya rent emfulo. Ngithi dog urenta kanjani emfulo? iPirates inika 50k ngeviki. 50k. Ama-playing bonus lawo mangidlalile, mangingadlalanga imali ayifani ngithi dong ndoda ubona 50,000 wena ngeviki. Mawucheck istatement usayiphiwe Cubana sibali Southgate nase-Formula 1.
Abayithanda kabi iCubana yaseSouthgate. Yes, sikugcwele bona vele la.
Bahlangana nabafana baseNaturena laphayana.
Yeah.
Indawo yabo vele. Nonsense nje, nonsense ye-lifestyle. Nonsense ye-lifestyle. Bheka manje.
Awuthi amandla naye lapha nayishanga ibhathi mina ngilapha. Ngeke mina sonke baba bonke mpethu hlala nabo badlalela iginethi nawo abothuso ududuza inyanda Myeni Caba cha bonke badlalela one of the Real Madrid team yaseligini yethu.
That talent, you can still finish a team ngaleyo talent if labantu labo bane-discipline. Ungafinish i-team ngalentwana lezi zona lezi okhuluma ngazo aboThabo abothuso. Okay fine, Thuso sekamdalanyana
udlalile uThuso kodwa mfethu for
but a great professional, but Thuso great professional, and I think he can go and still. But I think he has a probably has a coaching group or something. So for him, it's good, and it's nice to see how much and just coming. It's nice to see how much it's coming out and enjoying the sport. in their part time, and it also brings and attracts more people to our league as well. Their Sunday, so hopefully it can be good. Because I know, I mean, Kuni was there last time. Also,
Tengana camera and shy podcast, man.
which I said,
Tengana camera and shy podcast. These things should be on the internet somewhere, accessible, where people can see these things.
100%.
Especially
but I but mina angifuni kube necamera mina bahlala bangigama yellow card for ukukhuluma English. So come on. That's number 4. Stop with your English. I'm tired.
It's a great concept. It's a great concept. I push fair riding. You point and then Batala and you don't have professional ambitions anymore. It's just a pastime that
Vele masolapha vele soyazi
yeah. I try fun. I wouldn't try to
Dala, yes, sure. I know. Hayi lapho vele.
I know, indeed, Buffett. We've been shooting for a while now, you know. I try to limit it to at least a maximum an hour. But Buffett, much appreciated for you guys availing yourself on Thursday. You know, much appreciated. And I mean, okay, all the best to Itlapiaki Chiefs, Tina Maparani, you know, we just hoping that we continue winning the silverware that we normally do. And I seen a Black Label Cup. Angithi Tanko, wezimnyama ngenkani.
Amatambo.
Yeah, amathambo tanga. I know. Esikamakepula. I know, Chets, I know, much appreciated. And cheese dog, all the best for your community shield. Celung Shali Arsenal. I saw yesterday they drew against the Monaco 1-1, and I was watching Arsenal fan TV. Guys are panicking. Jesus is out. Apparently, he's out till I think September already.
But the owner Arsenal ayikho this weekend.
The owner, as you know, the guy who owns LA Rams, like.
No, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, I get go. I just think, Morocco, why is
the LA Rams as well? I didn't know he owns the LA Rams as well. That's news.
No, but it's trying to go on Cronky, was
the co-owner. Oh, okay, co-owner.
No. And he also won the NBA championship as well, Cronky. So, hey, if it's Cronky, hey, he's doing well for himself.
He's doing well, and he's investing in this Arsenal team.
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, but so she's mnangcela bona because umsindo mfethu. Yes, these guys they've got it.
No, they must lose. No,
Chiefs
must lose. I win the Super Cup. They must lose. You know why?
Yeah. So now I'm keen.
Arsenal, maybe get this season is feeling good. They can't have the score. They must feel good. Humbling. Competitive football is much more humbling than charity cups. Charity cups, they can win those. That's fine. That's all they've been winning. FA Cups and charity cups. Fine. City must go win the UEFA Super Cup. Win Club World Cup in January. Izamlo defender lamanye ama-title wayo. Charity Cup, they can give it to Arsenal. Come on. It doesn't even qualify. Even if but we need 6 pool, abayibali le nto le. Don't count that thing.
Yeah. I know he's a Jets. Let's call it a night, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Help the guy out. This is sports. Sisonke. Sure.
Hola.